These horses in my car got me going fast. I just wanna do the dash, put my pedal to the gas. Going so fast, hope I don't crash. One false move that could be my last.
Alright guys, what is up? Welcome to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. I just got finished with a workout, Zoom workout a little while ago. Got some shots up, filmed some content. So I just figured I'd do a little Q&A right now. But just common questions that I see in my TikTok messages, my Instagram DMs, all my comments on like everything. Just questions that I see all the time. I figured I'd write them down so that I could actually answer them for, not just one person, but for everybody who's probably wondering the same thing in a Q&A. So I knew I'd get around to this sooner or later, so this is the video. I'm going to be answering 10 questions. These are the 10 most common questions that I've been getting all around college basketball. So first question is, what does a typical day look like for a college basketball player? So that was the question. It's going to change, but I'm going to answer it based off an in-season, what a day would look like, because during the summer it looks different, during the spring, during the fall, every season it looks different. So I'm going to say in-season, which means while we're playing our games, right, when it's our competitive season, when we're playing games and playoffs and all that kind of stuff. So typical day for a college basketball player depends on your year also, but I'm going to be more generic with it. So you might wake up around, let's say 8, 9 o'clock. You might have your first class at 9 o'clock, 10, 11, whenever it might be. So you could have class right away in the morning. Or some years we'll have practice right away in the morning. So you'll wake up, head right up to the arena, get taped, get ready to go on the practice floor early morning. So you're either going to have class in the morning or practice in the morning. Right. So if you have practice in the morning, then you're probably going to be going to class right after practice. So some people, you're going to go to practice, and you're going to hurry out, shower, get right to class. You might have time to get some food. You might have to wait till after class to get some food. So one or the other depends on the scheduling. So you'll either have class or practice in the morning, one or the other. Then sometimes, if we're in season, we'll also have film. So we'll have a film session. So that could be before practice, after practice, usually afterwards, where we'll sit for about 30 minutes to sometimes an hour. Film can be really, really long, where we're scouting our opponent. So your typical time that you're spending at the arena or the gym that we're, what we do everything at is probably around 3 or 4 hours a day. By the time you get in, you're in there early to warm up, stretch, do your thing. By the time we practice, that's 2 hours. Then we have film for another hour. And then sometimes on top of that, twice a week, we're lifting. So we're in the weight room, even during the season, right? We're still going to be in the weight room for about 30 to 45 minutes twice a week as well. So you can literally have class, practice, film, weight room all in one day, have to find time to go get your meals, and then again, if you're a freshman, you have study hall at night. So it's not easy. During the season, time management is key. I'm rambling about this already, but that is what a typical day could look like. Question number 2, how often do you get to go home as a college athlete? As a college athlete, for basketball, every sport is different. For basketball, it's not that often, especially if you live far away. So for me, I lived in North Carolina and I went to school in Connecticut. I only got to go home for... Sometimes we played in a Thanksgiving tournament, so I would occasionally get to go home for Thanksgiving. Maybe 2 out of the 4 years I went home for Thanksgiving. I always got to go home for Christmas. Christmas was the one holiday that we always got to go home, and that was probably we got 4 or 5 days. If you're a regular student, your winter break is almost a month every school, right? It's like a month. We get to go home for 5 days, and then we're coming back and we're jumping right into more games, because that's literally the prime of our season is obviously Christmas and winter time. So you get to go home for Christmas. Some people will go home for Easter. In the spring, it's a little bit more lenient because where our workouts are a little bit less once the season's over. But if you live close, it's different. Like if you can drive home for the weekend and we don't have practice, yeah, that's great for you. But if you're anywhere far and you have to fly, you're not going home that often. So I'd say maybe twice a year, and then you get to go home for a little bit in the summer. Number 3, how much do college athletes get paid? So this is a really common question. People think that athletes don't get paid at all, and we don't get paid for playing our sport. College athletes don't get paid to play their sport, but they do get paid to attend the university, essentially, right? If we get a scholarship, so I got a scholarship that was worth whatever Quinnipiac's tuition was, free room and board. If you're on a full ride, everything's paid for. They're kind of paying you, right? They're paying for you to go to school. I don't have loans, right? I'm so thankful for that. That's why, when people say that, oh, college athletes don't get paid at all, we do get paid, and we also get extra checks. So we might get, every semester we'll get something called a cost of attendance check. So that's supposed to go towards your housing, your food, any kind of like doctor's visits or stuff like that. Stuff that you just need, like a necessity of living check sort of thing. So they'll give you, it depends on the school. Obviously, if you're at a smaller school, it's not going to be as much money as if you were at, you know, an ACC school or something like that. So that could go range from probably $1,000 at a small school to maybe, I don't know, $3,000. I'm just estimating here. I don't really know what it would be at a bigger school, but a couple $1,000s to last you for the semester. So college athletes do get some sort of money, and they do get financial benefits for being at the school. So that's what you got for college athletes getting paid. How do I go D1? Number 4. So how do I go D1? So most of the people that ask this question, I find, are the ones that probably won't go D1. If you're asking how you go D1, you're not focused on where you are now, right? You can't always be looking so far into the future. If you're in middle school and you're asking me how to go D1, focus on where you're at. Thrive where you are, or you're never gonna get to the bigger levels. If you're not, excelling on the team you are now, or, a standout player right now, then you need to work to get there. You can't be thinking about college basketball right now, right? If you're a freshman and you're trying to get on varsity, focus on getting on varsity. Don't think about D1 yet. You have to enjoy the process of getting there. Enjoy the recruiting process. Enjoy getting better from year to year, seeing your game improve. If you're always just worried about college coaches and this and that, I guarantee that you won't probably get as much interest as you would have gotten if you had been just focused on where you were at the moment. So really try to make the best of your current situation. And if you're working hard, you're talented, right? And you're in the right situation where you're at a good school, a good competitive team, a good AAU team, the coaches will come. They will find you. Number 5, do I have to play AAU basketball to get recruited? So I get this question all the time. Do I have to play AAU? Can I just play for my high school team? Short answer, yes, of course you can still get recruited if you don't play AAU, but why would you not play AAU if you have the means? I understand some people can't afford to play AAU financially. It's a huge financial commitment for parents to lay out hundreds of dollars and then thousands more traveling all the time. But if you can play AAU, you should. That's more opportunities for you to get exposure from coaches, right? If I'm a coach and I know a kid that plays on a really good AAU team, I'm then going to follow them to their high school league. But if I never found you in AAU because I never saw you during the summer, unless your high school team is really good, then I wouldn't have known about you, right? So if you can play both, I highly recommend to play both. Number 6, how much running do you do as a college athlete? So I will say we do run quite a bit. If you're not in good cardiovascular shape, it is going to be pretty brutal, but you will get there. So for me, I was not a runner. I hated running. I was not in good shape at all when I came in as a freshman. So I learned the hard way, right? Preseason was brutal. Everything with running was brutal for me. But by the time I got to my junior year, right, I was so used to the intensity of the workouts, the running, just you were able to mentally prepare yourself because you knew what was coming. So your freshman year is always going to be the hardest with weights and conditioning and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to get easier from year to year as long as you're putting in the work, right? Also outside of practice, outside of, just being in the weight room, you have to be putting in extra work. I literally came home in the summer after my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, and all I did was run because I did not want to be that miserable again in the preseason. And let me tell you, it paid off. So you do a good amount of running and conditioning stuff, but it's all just to help you prepare for game situation. Number 7, do you live with your teammates? So every school kind of does this differently. At Quinnipiac, as freshmen, we do not live together, and the reason is because we want you to meet other people, right? Like if you're a freshman and you're just only with your teammates right away, the odds of you trying to branch out and go find other people is probably not as likely, right? But if you're instead put in a room with 3 other random people who are going to have friends all over campus, you're going to be more likely to go and branch out, meet those people, meet their friends. So it's just a way to kind of get you to socialize with people that aren't on the team. So after your freshman year, you have free will. After you get comfortable with everybody, most of our team ended up living with each other for the rest of the year. So sophomore, junior, senior, everyone would live together. But it's really, really nice freshman year to not live with your teammates because you get to meet people outside of basketball. And let me tell you, you need friends outside of basketball. You can't be around the same people 24/7. Really, I do encourage you to try and build relationships with people outside of basketball. Number 8, how to earn more minutes. So in college basketball, freshman year is tough. And I think a lot of people at this point, they get so discouraged that they're not playing as a freshman that their first instinct is, oh, dad or mom, I want to transfer, right? I want out. I don't want to do this. I don't like this school. And the reason is because you're not playing most of the time, right? But how about you take a step back and look at where, where are the people that are playing now on your team, right? So whether they're juniors, seniors, even sophomores, right? Who are the people that are getting the most minutes, and what are they doing that you're not doing? First of all, they have a whole lot more experience than you do, and experience is huge in college basketball. They've been in all these situations before that you haven't. So they're already ready. They already know what to do in certain scenarios. They've been running the plays that you just learned for the last 3 years. So of course they're going to be more prepared, right? A lot of players like to blame the coach or blame their teammates for the reason that they're not playing. And obviously there's situations where, maybe it's not your fault that you're not playing, but for the most part, as a freshman, you can't expect to go in there and be, getting all the minutes right away. That's just not realistic. You have to earn your minutes and enjoy the process of earning them, right? As a freshman, you should be trying to learn as much as you can from your upperclassmen. Understand what your coach values. Every coach is different. Some coaches might value defense more than offense, right? So if you could, you could say that, oh, I'm shooting the ball so well, I'm scoring this many points, but maybe the reason you're not playing is because you're not playing defense. I don't know. There's certain things that each coach wants. So make sure that you go and sit down, have a conversation, and ask what you can do better, but don't be quick to just leave, right? Be mentally tough. Fight through stuff. Obviously, again, there's situations where you might have to transfer, but don't always look for a way out. Number 10, last one, how to choose the right school. So I actually did an entire video on this a couple videos ago, so if you go to my old videos, you'll see this one there. But quickly, choosing the right school is huge, and I gave you a couple tips in the last one. So biggest thing for me is to make sure that you have a good relationship with every coach on staff. I'm not going to go into the details. Go watch the other video for that. But make sure you're talking to not just the head coach, not just one assistant, but to every single coach on staff, and you feel good about all of them, because coaches get fired, let go, they switch schools all the time. You don't want to end up at a school where those coaches don't really want you there, right? Number 2 is to make sure that you're going somewhere that's a right fit. Be realistic. Don't just go to somewhere for the name of a school. I literally hate that. That's my pet peeve is, oh, I want to go to this school because, all my friends know the name of that school, and if I go to this other school, nobody's really heard of that. Go somewhere where you can leave a legacy, win games, and get to the NCAA tournament, whether it's D1, D2, D3. Go somewhere to win. I'm telling you, if you go and you're part of a winning culture, a winning team, you're going to enjoy yourself. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. Don't go to a school just because of the name, right, who doesn't really win that much. You're probably going to sit the bench anyway, and you just want to go there so you can get some gear, right? Don't make that decision. Make your decision wisely and figure out where you fit in the roster. Number 3, obviously, I think is location and academics. We'll just combine those into one, right? Don't go somewhere too far away if you know you're the type of person who gets homesick all the time. Like, just be smart about your decision. Be self-aware about what you can handle. If you're someone like me who I don't mind if I go far away, I don't need to be home all the time. I was never like that, right? I have no problem being far away from home, so I don't mind going to a school where I have to fly home. And again, you're only going home 2 or 3 times a year. So just be self-aware about your location of your school. And then again, academics too, right? Like, most of us are not going to be playing professional basketball, right, after this. So make sure you're going somewhere where they have a nice academic major that fits with your interests. Even if you have no idea what you want to do right now, I switched my major after my freshman year. Pick a school that has a wide variety of majors that you could choose and where you could see yourself, getting a good degree that's going to help you carry on in the future. But hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. But those were just 10 of the most commonly asked questions that I've been getting about college basketball. So I figured I'd sit down and do this video really quickly. Shoot some more questions down below. Keep DMing me. I'm going to do more videos, maybe on a different topic on the next one, maybe just high school basketball questions, stuff like that. But that was all thanks college basketball. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Workouts down below. Sign up for my Zoom training. Let's get it. Keep getting better, guys.